out there in TV land, internet world, wherever you're watching from. Is welcome back to America once again. I have a couple of guys here. We've had them on the show before, but because it's Halloween time, I wanted to bring on. Met both of these guys at UCLA. They're both filmmakers. They're both big fans of horror, and they've made a lot of films and worked a lot in the horror genre in LA and back home in North Carolina. So I'd like to introduce two of my best friends, ladies and gentlemen, Bryan Matthew Ward and Christopher Vanderhorst. Come on down, come on screen.
Hey.
So it's really good to see you guys. I'm really glad you both came down. You are two of my favorite people. And that's not like bullshit. That's not just something you say to people, but like if we saw each other in person, it wouldn't matter how much time passed. It would be like it didn't. That's sort of
That's true.
So it's great to have you guys, and I love having you both on the Halloween special because you're both big fans of the horror genre. I remember you guys having a lot of conversations about horror over the years when we lived in Burbank together. And I mostly want this conversation to be about that and some of the stuff you've worked on. And right before we started recording, and the reason I just got into it was because Bryan asked if we had seen the preview for the new Halloween film, the new Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Myers Halloween film where she's going to kill her brother again. She's going to kill this guy a lot.
He's not his brother. They're like eliminating part 2.
Wait.
I know, don't like that, but
wait, so they're multiversing it? Is that a multi?
It's a multiverse. It's a multiverse of Halloween.
That sounds like it. How do you take that whole thing out? That's a big piece. That's what Chris is like.
I mean, if you eliminate everything but part 1, it works. Hey, you can't say that the series has been uniform. It's been all over the place.
Listen,
I mean, that series.
give me the original Halloween 1 and part 2, and that's all I need.
Okay.
Or if I'm in a certain mood, give me Rob Zombie's first one.
Hopefully I don't get in trouble for saying this, but they're really referencing part 2 pretty heavily in this one.
Okay.
I did sign a confidentiality agreement. So
wait, what, did you go see it?
No, I was an extra.
You were an extra in the Halloween movie?
Yeah, and the new one coming out.
Why is this the first time I'm hearing about this? That's one of the coolest things I've ever heard in my life. That's great.
I'm in like a crowd. Like if you watch the new trailer, there's a part where a crowd's yelling "Evil dies tonight." I'm in that crowd somewhere. It's like Where's Waldo? So just try to find me, and if you find me, you win something.
Where did you film?
In Wilmington at the community college that's like in the downtown area.
How much of the movie was filmed in Wilmington?
All of it.
Really?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Part 1 as well?
No, just part 2.
Wow. Okay.
So they came back. So this is the second time they filmed in Wilmington. I find this very interesting.
This is as far as I know the first time they filmed in Wilmington. The first movie wasn't filmed in Wilmington.
Oh,
okay. I was getting the impression they were just coming back and they like filmed there in like 1985.
For whatever reason they filmed there. I don't know why.
That's pretty cool. There is a big scene out there, actually. There is a big film scene in North Carolina. A lot of guys.
A lot of stuff to Georgia, though. A lot of stuff to Georgia.
I would believe that, too. Georgia might have more money. They're more racist.
Georgia's got Tyler Perry money.
Yes, they do have Tyler Perry money. You ever been to Georgia?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been there a few times. I went to Savannah for like a theater thing, and I've been through Atlanta. I never really stopped in Atlanta.
Savannah is my favorite city in America.
Savannah's cool.
That's a great city.
What are some of, Chris, your favorite horror films? I know of a couple that you're going to say, but let's say if you had to, you've probably done your top 5. You've talked about your top 5.
To hear about The Shining.
So I think my all-time favorite is Texas Chainsaw, and The Shining. Those are my 2. Texas Chainsaw and The Shining. The Exorcist is still the scariest movie I've ever seen. Then we have Carrie, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th. That's gonna be
Wow.
my
All good picks. All good picks.
All good picks. Nothing modern. Nothing
Well,
modern.
So it's. I think it's because you hesitate to put something too modern on that list because it's so new. But if I did, I would put Hereditary on that list in a heartbeat.
That's a good choice.
I don't know that movie.
Oh, it's a winner.
If I was going to put some modern ones, I'd put It Follows and House of the Devil.
House of the Devil, great one. Now listen, this year we got the release of Saint Maud, which is primo. It's understated. It's a slow burn, but it is good.
What's the story?
Check it out.
Saint Maud is just about this girl. She's a caretaker, and she tries to. The woman she's taking care of, she's trying to instill her beliefs onto this woman, and the woman kind of rejects these beliefs. So she feels like God is testing her, and she's failing these tests. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay. Interesting. I like how he froze right there too.
Well, it's like he froze for impact.
Yeah, no, that was perfect timing. Which someone couldn't have done it better.
Right?
Thanks, internet.
That's an interesting storyline. I might check it out. I'm not the biggest fan of horror because like things like Saw, I'm not like a fan of lots of violence.
Can we talk about Malignant? Did you guys see Malignant?
I did and laughed hysterically through the entire movie.
What a piece of trash. Like,
I think it was done on purpose.
You know, I read that, but still, like, why?
I don't know, but I was laughing. I thought it was funny.
So you mentioned House of the Devil, which was made to look like it was shot back in like the mid-late 70s?
I would say it's like a hybrid of the 70s and 80s.
Right. So, and done very well.
Yeah.
Malignant, apparently he was trying to...
I think he was just trying to make some BS and that's it. And he made some BS.
It was
but like
it was terrible.
It felt to me like it was done purposely looking at it. Personally,
I heard it was done purpose, but even if that was the case, why? Because it was not entertaining at all. It was terrible.
Right. Doing bad art for the sake of doing bad art doesn't make sense.
Work.
Don't bother me.
Okay.
As long as you're honest about what you're doing, I'm good with it.
What are your favorites, Brian? What are your top 5?
All right. Let's see. So I love all the ones he mentioned, all of the classics he mentioned, but I'm going to take a moment to make fun of him for a second because I tried to watch, when we were roommates, The Exorcist with him, and he was like, I'm not going to watch The Exorcist at nighttime. Movie's too scary. And this is a grown man saying this stuff. And I want to bring that out and troll Chris for a second. But going back to my favorites, sorry, I just had to.
The movie is terrifying. It's the only movie that
I've never been scared of the movie. I always think that it's really good, and that to me, once it gets to the possession stuff, it's like Reagan has become an insult comic, and like I'm just like egging her on the whole time. She's like, "Your mother's in here," and I'm like, "Yeah, she is." That's the way I watch the movie, but like that's me. But anyway, so getting to favorites he didn't mention, The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing. I really love that.
Sure. 1979 probably.
Somewhere around there, 79, 80, something like that. Let's see. So the original Halloween, I'm always a big fan of that. The first 3 Nightmare on Elm Street movies, but mainly the first one.
I liked all the Nightmare on Elm Streets.
I love part 2. Let's see. Friday the 13th Part 4 and Friday the 13th Part 2.
And Part 1?
And Part 1, which is like a classic.
Part 1's really good, but I like 2 and 4 better.
What I like about 1 is Freddy is more horrifying. He becomes more comical as 2 and 3 and 4. I think in 1, he's more horrifying. He's a scarier character.
He had the highest kill count in Part 2.
Hey, I'll buy that. What are you making your head to?
I don't care about a kill count.
Part 2.
I don't care about that.
I hate Part 2. Part 1, like you said, he's he doesn't talk much and he's creepy.
Yeah.
And I love the franchise. I mean, I have a tattoo.
Oh shit, that's nice.
Two, though, that swimming pool scene was great. Like the guy's like, "Let me get you some help." He's like, "Help yourself, fucker."
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you design that Freddy Krueger tattoo yourself?
I didn't design it, but I told her what I wanted. You know, it's that famous.
I know what it is. I know it's the Sistine Chapel.
I told her to replace
genius.
it with Freddy's stand.
Yeah,
That's
I love
genius.
it. Great tattoo.
That's really cool.
Well,
nobody else has that.
No, in the first one, he's terrorizing one of the girls, Tina, and she's like, "Oh God!" And he says, "This is God," and he cuts off his finger, and that made me thinking like him and God and whatever. And I was like, "That's the perfect tattoo."
Great choice.
It's very cool. I love that. Did you know? I told Bryan this. I don't think I told you this, but Robert Englund actually worked on Halloween. He actually worked for a day as a raker. He raked leaves.
Wow.
Yeah, for one day. Really cool. Yeah, it is a cool. Robert Englund talked about it in an interview a couple of years ago. It wasn't something that was ever really known before that.
Right.
It was kind of crazy. I love that piece of information.
I would love to reboot Nightmare on Elm Street
again, and they may.
Well, the
if
reboot
it's done well, I would love that. But like, I hate the idea of no Robert Englund. That bugs me.
Well, he won't do it. He says he won't do it. But I think it could be done without Robert Englund because I would take it back to the roots of part one, and he wouldn't be fucking so chatty.
Right.
Play it, and he'd just be slicing and dicing. And
if you could pick somebody like off the top of your head to play Freddy, who would you go with?
Oh shit, I don't know. I would go with the unknown.
Okay. That would be the smart way to go. Go with an unknown. You can't go with like Paul Rudd. No one's going to take that part. He's a child molester and killer. He's not nobody wants
Kevin Bacon.
Right.
Go with Kevin Bacon.
No.
Come on, you get them dancing too.
Kevin Bacon.
I'm playing.
He might actually do it, but he's probably desperate for work. But who isn't these days?
Right.
That's what I mean.
You both you both ever work on any horror together? Have you ever had the opportunity to do that?
We were trying to get together a
Bryan. Oh, by the way, Bryan, is Michael J. Fox doing your camera work?
Yes, he is. He is. He's definitely doing that.
Jesus, I know.
Sorry, I'm like shaking a lot.
It's okay. I know I make you nervous. I know.
Set it down, Boone. Set it down. Are you on the phone?
I'm on the phone.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't care. I don't. It doesn't really matter. It's but it.
I'm trying to give the not Paranormal Activity, Blair Witch feel for we're doing a Halloween theme and scary movie.
So we should finish the interview by peeing in the corner. Yeah, I was gonna say, just go pee in the corner.
I'm so scared right now. Yeah, I don't know. Peeing in the corner. That is what he was doing. It looked like anyway.
Yeah, he was. There was no witch. No witch bewitched him. He was just peeing in the corner.
That's what happens. I mean, like he was in a creepy house and he had to go.
I was at a beach an hour ago. I went for a walk. They locked the bathroom. I had to pee behind the building. That's what I had to do.
You should have filmed it and then packaged it as a part 3.
I think the state probably filmed it. So, Chris, you've recently worked on a movie that won an award. Won a film award. It's called Lifelike.
Yes, correct.
And you made this a while ago. You talk about it a little.
We made it almost 5 years ago, I think. And it still goes strong in the film festival circuit, which is good. But it's like sci-fi with some thriller, horror elements thrown in. I
love it. I've watched it several times over the years. It's a great piece.
The best thing about it is it was shot for $50, and that $50 went to pizza and snacks.
Yeah.
I just got people who I knew together for a day, and we filmed it and knocked it out. So it's
a high quality looking film.
Did you or Ty do the cinematography? I forgot who you said.
Yeah, me and Ty.
Oh, both of you. Okay. Because it was beautiful.
He was the only He was the only crew member I had. It was Ty and I, and then we had one girl who came and did the serial number tattoo.
Yeah,
but
like I think that cinematography was just top notch in that.
What agreed? The color. Did you do any post coloring on that?
I just a little because I'm colorblind. I just did a small bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to give it its own kind of color away from the real world, but that's it.
I know another director who's colorblind. His name is Victor Venato. He's a somewhat well-known comedian. You've probably seen him. He's albino, very funny guy, but he's been on like Letterman and all those shows over the years. But he's also directed things, and he's like legally blind, and colorblind, and I think it's amazing to be able to do that.
Apparently, what's the guy who did Drive and Only God Forgives?
I can't think of his name. I cannot think of it.
He's I read that he was colorblind, which is why his movies are so vivid.
Yeah, but they're beautiful, man. You there?
He's
making the impact again.
And we're talking about colorization. I actually read this yesterday that when the movie Precious was being done, he had an all-white lighting crew that lit her in such a way that looked really bad, and he had to scrap a whole month of work, and he hired black people to light it, and it went right. It went the right way. But he said it looked green, like everything was shot and there was a green tone.
Right.
So,
oh wow.
Yeah. I don't know how that happens. Maybe you do, but
I can see that. I wasn't surprised to hear that story. Their skin tones, lights hit skin tones differently, and you have to know how to light for different people, especially if you have multiple skin tones in the room. You have to know how to do like a universal lighting for everybody. So I get that. Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys working on anything? Are there any projects that you have that are? I know you wrote an Entourage spec that you're trying to get out there.
Great.
Yeah. They won't read it, but I wrote a spec for Entourage for a reboot. Thanks, Boone. Yeah, I agree. I think it is really good. I think it's the way to go for those guys. I know they feel very right. Say again.
It felt perfect. As a fan of that show, it felt perfect. Like a perfect beginning episode.
Seeing them 10 years later is a great idea.
Yeah. And I tried to put myself in their shoes. What happened to them in that 10 years, and what are they doing now? And I think I kind of nailed it.
Without spoiling your script, I think the way you handled Billy Walsh was perfect.
Yeah. If only
do we still find them as all friends?
Yes, but they're in different places in their careers now. So Vince is trying to make yet another comeback, but television is big now. So he wants to do television with Billy Walsh, and Ari Gold's daughter wants to do some acting, and Ari Gold hates that. And come to find out, she's gonna have to do a sex scene with Vince, which Ari hates.
Of course, that's great.
The reaction to all that is hilarious.
Yeah, I think it was done real. I'm very proud of the script. Hopefully, I can get Doug Ellen. Doug Ellen, if you're watching,
I met Doug Ellen. Yeah,
read the script. I guess legally, so they have their podcast, and they were saying on the podcast, stop sending us scripts. I don't know if multiple people sent scripts or they were just talking to me.
They might have been. That's awesome if they were just talking to you.
But they were like, you can't read your scripts legally. But surely there's some legal way I can have them read it. I'm not going to sue them. Just read it.
Right. There's got to be something that you can sign.
Screenwriters Guild to do it. I wonder if that's part of it.
Yeah. Maybe Doug just doesn't want me to write a better reboot script than he could.
Well, also understand this. No one else ever wrote Entourage but Doug Ellen. There were never any episodes that were written by anybody other than him.
Okay.
That's my understanding. I remember him saying that when he was interviewed at UCLA.
Okay.
I might be having a Mandela effect moment, but that's what I remember. And I remember Sinbad doing a Shazam movie too.
Wait, he did do a Shazam.
Did.
No, he didn't. He insists that he didn't. Look it up. You won't find the movie. It's a whole Mandela effect thing. Look online. Look up Sinbad Shazam. There is no Sinbad Shazam movie.
That's not true.
Shazam.
It's not real. Doesn't exist. Even Sinbad was interviewed, and he's like, "I never did a movie like that. What are you all talking about?"
How would he know what he did? I know what he did.
He didn't do it. I'm not joking. This is a thing. Google it. I'm not kidding.
Well, I know about the Mandela effect, but he did that movie.
No, he did not.
I've been saying that too. That he's done that movie.
Did not. I just watched a thing on it today. I watched an interview with him, and he's talking about, I don't know what everyone's talking about. I didn't do that movie. Now, apparently what they're saying is that because we saw him in that 1988 special where he's dressed with very puffy pants like MC Hammer. He's got MC Hammer pants on, and he kind of looks like a genie. And then there's also video of him in this movie if you go online, but it looks all fucked up. Like it's not, like you won't find it. Even go on IMDb.
He went and did a comedy thing, like acting like it was that video, but it's him now and everything. But I'm like, that isn't even how he was dressed in that movie. The way he was dressed in the comedy thing.
He did that movie.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you that I feel like that exists. But when I watched this interview and I watched Sinbad denying it, he didn't do it. Why would anyone deny doing it? And I can't find the movie anywhere.
Let me ask you this. In Animal House, Belushi wears a shirt that says college. How is it spelled?
I thought it was spelled right, properly. College.
I have a memory where it's spelled with one L, and the joke is it's college, but it's spelled wrong. Ha ha ha.
Right, apparently it's his character, right.
But apparently that's not a thing.
Oh, wow.
That's my own Mandela effect, I guess, because I would have put all my money on that it had one L in it, and apparently not.
Right.
Well, what's crazy to me about these Mandela effects is that there's like large groups of people that all have the same memory.
Right.
You know, it's crazy.
Well, that's the whole thing. Yeah. It's a collective conscious thing that doesn't really make sense. And there are also books out there. These books exist. It's called the Marvelous Adventures of Baron Trump. And there's three levels. It was written in 1899, and it's about a boy who travels from Russia to New York City to live on Fifth Avenue and run for president.
What?
And when he runs for president, this book exists. I've seen it. I've looked at it. I didn't read the whole thing. It's 3 volumes. It's called The Marvelous Adventures of Baron Trump. Oh, and wow. The last episode is called The Last President. Wow. So that always makes me paranoid.
Right.
For good reason.
Yeah, I can see why.
Wow.
Now,
so the biggest Mandela effect would have to be when younger, a bunch of people really loved Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, but then they realized in the future that everyone hated it. No one liked it.
So they forgot about it?
They forgot about Part 2.
I always thought I liked the idea of the Dream Warriors. I always wanted to be a Dream Warrior.
Yes. Part 4.
What's that? That was 4?
I'm sorry, Part 3.
Yeah. Part 3 is probably the best of all the sequels.
Yeah.
I would love to. We'll keep on chatting after this, but we have to cut this. We have to. Every interview must end. We're gonna show Chris's recent film Lifelike right after this. It's a short film. It's under 10 minutes, I believe, and we'll check that out and stay tuned for these commercials. And Chris and Bryan, thank you so much for coming by. If you want to see Chris any place, you Google the name Chris Vanderhorst. I don't think there's anybody else in the world named that, so you probably can Google that and you'll find Chris.
I found one guy. And I'm trying to find another person so I can take care of it. But
you want to like take care of him?
Yeah, I gotta take care of it.
No.
But Bryan Ward, there's a lot of people that have your name.
That's why I use my middle name, Bryan Matthew Ward. I'm the only one on IMDb.
That's great.
Or also known as Bryan Homeless Ward.
Yeah, it happens. Talking about my beard.
Or Bryan Herpes Ward. As
we don't talk about that, Dan.
So on that note, on herpes, we're going to go right now. Thanks for checking out Welcome Back to America. We'll be back right after this. Watch the film. It's really awesome.
Hello?
Helen? Is this Helen?
I'm Helen.
Hi, Helen. I'm calling to confirm some details with you about your recent order. Do you have a few minutes?
Yes.
You requested the 1056. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Is he a friend of yours?
No.
I see. Now, what's going to happen, Helen, is when you wake up, more than likely, your lifelike will already be there. He'll be sitting in your living room, and I'll go ahead and let you know, it will frighten you. That's why we call them lifelikes.
He'll look just like him?
Yes, every blemish, muscle, nuance, even down to the fingerprint.
How will he get in?
That is not something you should be concerned with. Just take its hand. Your body heat will wake it from sleep mode, but let me just say, once you've taken its hand, that is a binding contract, and there will be no turning back.
He won't speak, will he?
No. Is there something it might say that will change how you feel?
No, that's good. That would scare me. If he spoke, that would scare the hell out of me.
It won't make a sound.
Good. That's good. And he'll know what I need.
The android has been programmed to react according to your every move. It'll do exactly as you expect it to.
And all of this is for free.
Well, you have to ask yourself, is anything free?
Just seems strange to me. All this for nothing.
Is that what this is? Nothing?
Well, I guess in the end it doesn't really matter.
Let me ask you, are you having second thoughts?
No. This is what I want. I want closure.
You'll have closure. Completely.
Okay.
Any other concerns?
No?
Okay, Helen. I hope you find everything you're looking for.
Wait. You there? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
I do have one question.
Okay.
The lifelikes, have any of them ever malfunctioned?
I can safely say that we have successfully satisfied thousands of customers with no negative reports or logs of error. Your lifelike will perform every detail of your request, And 100% satisfaction is very much guaranteed. Our androids are, by any practical definition of the words, state-of-the-art and incapable of malfunction.
And it'll look real.
Nobody will suspect a thing. The lifelike will wait until a neighbor or any potential witness is in view of your home until it exits. The authorities will view it as a crime of passion. Your loved ones will never know it was an indirect suicide.
That's what I want. I want closure.